Welcome back to the Newbie Railroad. I've got two things for you today. I've got an unboxing of my first building, and I'm going to talk a little bit about track planning and how I'm planning for the layout. And so let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, this is an unboxing. This is my very first building. I'll probably have a number of buildings on the layout eventually, but I thought I would try to build the first one, and so today I was just going to do an unboxing to see what came with it. What I've got here, go ahead and unwrap it and pull it out of the package. This is, I think it's Woodland Scenics. I got it from modeltrainstuff.com. Comes in a plastic bag. Here's the instruction manual. It's called Paul's Depot Train Stations. That's why my name's Paul, so that's why I picked this one out. But I do want to have, I'll talk a little bit about my layout later, but I do want to have a small passenger depot for excursions, for passenger excursions. So that's what this is. Okay, it says interlocking construction HO scale. So let's take a quick look inside here, see what all is in here. So basically we've got the diagrams that show how the pieces fit together in multiple steps, and on the back there's some final steps. So there's not much to it as far as the instructions go. It says we need a utility knife, sandpaper, white glue, because this is made out of wood. They want you to have a glue that dries clear, and that's pretty much it. And so down on the painting suggestions, it says this kit is not modeled after any specific station. We suggest painting it to match your railroad colors. Weathering stains are also a good choice. Acrylic paints work great and are more readily available. Hunterline makes a stain that is available in many different shades. Then they give you a website to go to if you want that. So that's basically all there is for the instructions. So let's take a look at what the parts are. So these look like they're, this is like a laser cut sheet of wood here, and it's got, clearly those are, they have some kind of a stain wash on them. And if you look at the picture on the instructions, it kind of has a brown color. So perhaps if you don't paint it, it would still look, it has sort of an aged look to it. This is clearly the front. There's like some siding on that piece. What else have we got here? Here's some more pieces and parts. These look like the ends of the building. Oop, put them over, you can see it better there. The ends of the building here. Again, they're all laser cut, and this is obviously tab construction because you can see the slots and on the building, there's these little tabs. So it's all going to be tab and slot, it looks like. Okay, and then there's a little sheet of plastic. This is obviously going to be the glazing for the windows, I'm sure. And it comes with a little sign that says Paul's Depot. That's probably, I don't know, it's probably peel and stick. I don't know. We'll see. And then there's a little rafter. So that's it for the station. Okay, now I want to talk a little bit about planning. I'm using some software called Anyrail 6, and it's a Windows app that you can find online. And I'm not going to do a demo or a tutorial on Anyrail. There's already a number of people that have done those, and they've done really good jobs with it. So just go into YouTube and do a search for Anyrail 6 tutorial or Anyrail 6 demo or whatever you want. But basically, it's specifically for planning track, and it's a Windows app, like I said, and you can download it for free and try it out. And the free version has a limit to how many pieces of track you can install, and then you can pay to register it and get an unlimited copy. But you can at least give it a shot, give it a try for free, and then see if it's for you. Now I'm going to be using, like I said in the previous video, I'm going to be using E-Z track, which is already pre-cut, pre-measured, and the curves are a certain radius that I like. So my layout's probably not quite as complex in one sense as others. The Anyrail supports any scale. It has already libraries built in for like all these different manufacturers of rail, including flex rail, which is rail that you can actually bend to fit whatever you want. But I'm going to try to use just use E-Z track. So what I've done in Anyrail is I've got a printout here of my current plan. I've messed with this for quite a bit. I've gone ahead and put in the dimensions of my tabletop, and I've also marked on here the corners where I've cut out spaces already. I could build a bridge across this one if I wanted to, but I've marked it out for now. And then I've gone ahead and designed my track layout. And I've used, in some cases, I've had to use smaller pieces of track to make it fit. One of the things you'll find with Bachmann, which is the rail that I'm using, Bachmann has good instructions. Don't get me wrong. They're good instructions, but the thing about Bachmann instructions is they never seem like they're complete. They always seem like they leave stuff out. And so when I was getting started with the Anyrail, I was confused by some of the different options of track that's available. If you go to Bachmann's website or you go to a retail website, you can find lots of different options for E-Z track. And for example, you'll find these turnouts. Like I talked about a turnout yesterday, and there's a left-hand turnout right there. This is the standard one, and it just says, Bachmann E-Z track, left-hand turnout, nickel-silver track, and it's got a manual switch and a DC connector. But you can also find turnouts that are number 4, number 5, and number 6, and there's no place that I saw that it explains what those numbers mean. And it has to do with the length of I think it has to do with the length of the curve of the turnout. So they make the standard one, I'll just call it, and I don't know whether this is like a shorter than a 4 or longer than a 6, I don't know. This is like a standard one. And there's a 4, 5, and 6, and then there's some other sizes too. Well, the nice thing about Anyrail, getting back to Anyrail, is that it has a library built into it for all these different kinds of track. And so you can experiment using different sizes of track and things and trying to get stuff to fit. And then when you're all done, the nice thing about Anyrail, then, one nice thing for me, is you can print out a parts list. So here, basically, it's telling me for each different kind of E-Z track how many of them I need for my current design. And then also, just for fun, I guess, it's got the lengths of the track. And so I'm going to have 90 feet of track when I'm all done if I follow this current plan. And that's probably, if I look at HO scale, that's like 1 to, 70-something, or I think. Anyway, that's probably scale. That's, I don't know, a mile, over a mile. Maybe less than a mile and a half. So I've got like about a mile of scale, over a mile of scale track I'll have when I'm done. So that's kind of nice because then it gives you like basically the shopping list, and you can compare that maybe to the track you've already got on hand to see if you've got what you need or how much you have to buy, and you can shop around for it. So that's Anyrail. So take a look at Anyrail 6, and then let me go back to this for a second. So my basic idea for the layout, I'm modeling, this is going to be a prairie scene. So I'm going to start flat, and I'll eventually will add hills, and I may eventually add some inclines and things like that and overpasses. But to start with, I'm just going to start with a flat layout, and I'm going to have a grain elevator, probably like here in the middle, or maybe over here at one of these places where I've got turnouts. So there'll be a grain elevator, and where the farmers will bring their grain in. This is going to be like about a mid-1940s, 1950s, 1930s type layout. So toward the end of the age of steam, maybe the very beginning of the diesel age. So it'll be a grain elevator. So I'll build a road, a road crossing someplace here, and then so we'll be hauling. This is going to be a branch line, modeling a branch line. So over here, probably on this side, there's like going to be the main line, but it's off the map. So these tracks here are headed toward the main line. So the grain will be taken from the elevator and taken over to the main line, where it'll be dropped off for the mainline train to come along and take it off to the big city. So my trains can be fairly small engines that are just hauling just a short line. And then I'll probably have this train station that we just talked about. I'll need at least one passenger depot, probably more at some point. The passenger depot is going to be someplace off to the side. I haven't decided exactly where. And they'll be taking excursion trains with passengers to some sort of tourist attraction, which I haven't decided on yet. But here on this side of this big circle, this is an open area. I may put something in there, maybe a volcano remnant for the tourists to look at, like a Devil's Tower type thing, or a Mount Washington if you're from Oregon. Or I could put maybe a wild animal park in there, maybe run a herd of bison or something in there for the tourists to look at. So I might do that. Maybe have a bison herd. They could run across the track. So that's basically it. I'm going to start off with just those two industries. Over time, I'll probably add more industries, but I'll have farming and tourism to start with. And that's basically my general idea. The other thing I should mention here too, I've got in my layout. Let me see if I can turn the camera here. Over there on the wall, there's a post. It's obviously a support post that they put in when they built the addition on the house. And so I've got, for that, I've modeled that here in my layout too. It's this little block right here. I'm not going to cut into the support post, so I'm going to build my train, around it. So that's that. Okay, that's probably it for today, and just letting you know how things are going. Maybe next time I'll have worked on that building, get that built, and I'm expecting some more track to come, and so hopefully I'll give a stab at setting this layout up, and I'll let you see when I've got the track laid down. I'm still missing a few pieces to make this super big layout there, how everything's going. So that's it for now. So long from the Newbie Railroad.